Hello everyone, Dre Gothams here. Welcome back to some more Pokemon Sword and Shield content. Today we're going to be using a Greedent Trick Room team here. Been having a lot of fun with this on the ladder and slowly trying to get our ranking up to a respectable number. But here, yeah, we have Mimikyu and Reuniclus as our Trick Room setters. Greedent is going to be the main guy that we want to focus setting up, and then obviously we're going to have a Torkoal in the back and a couple other guys to support that. So let's go ahead and get in some games and see how we are able to do. Now obviously the tricky thing about Trick Room is that it has a huge bullseye on its back. So most teams are set up in one way or another to stop it. And we have a high ranking game here. And actually this looks like, we actually have a mirror match. We have another Greedent team, similar. We have Mimikyu, but there's a Dottler instead, and we have Gorilla Boom, which could be interesting. So I think we're going to have to be a little careful with the Inteleon. I think Inteleon could be a problem. Gorilla Boom could be a problem as well. Let's go ahead and start Reuniclus and Greedent. They don't really have a a fighter at least. We're going to bring Arconkeldurr in case they do still decide to go with the Greedent strategy. And what are we going to do about Dottler? Guess we can go Torkoal. Do we need Gastrodon for any reason? No, Gastrodon is going to be weak to grass. He does have the Inteleon though. Inteleon hits really hard, but he could just go for like an ice attack or something else. So then we're gonna go ahead and stick with this strategy and see what they decide. So that's kind of funny. First game is a Greedent on Greedent. Couple neighborhood squirrels that know each other. Maybe they have a little beef and they want to settle it in the Pokemon Stadium. So we see Rillaboom and Inteleon. This could be something like a Soak and then Inteleon hit, which I would not be surprised to see. I think we could go Energy Ball. Yeah, we're going to go Trick Room. Question is, do we want to go Greedent or do we want to switch out? We don't really have that good of a switch out, to be honest. We don't want to have Torkoal get turned into a water type here. So I think we're just gonna. Our opponent knows what we're doing. So let's go ahead and click Bullet Seed here. Opponent has Greedent, so they know the whole strategy. So we're not going to play into that strategy. We're going to try to switch it up and let Torkoal come in and sweep if we're able to get up Trick Room. So we see Inteleon. Question is, does he go for a water attack knowing that we had Gastrodon in the team preview, or does it go for maybe like an ice attack here? Goes for a Max Airstream instead, which is surprising. He goes for Max Airstream despite the idea of a Trick Room. And here comes Knockoff, but we have the Cobra Berry there. And we'll see if that's enough to keep us alive, and it does. So I guess unfortunately we probably could have just gone Belly Drum. But we get 3 lands with the Bullet Seed. Any more? Oh, we're going 4. Here we go. Show them 5. We got 4. So hit 4 times with the Bullet Seed. We might not even have to Belly Drum. We could just straight up click Bullet Seed again and really deal with this Inteleon. Although we have Energy Ball on our Reuniclus, which is going to be pretty helpful as well. So I think we're going to Energy Ball there. Is it going to be enough? I don't think it's going to be enough, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and click Belly Drum. Actually, here's what we're going to do. We're gonna we're gonna ally switch, and we're gonna go belly drum. I feel like they definitely have to target the Greedent here. So we're gonna go ally switch, and hopefully have the Rillaboom go after our Reuniclus. Reuniclus has done its job. Was able to withstand those hits and get the Trick Room up, which is one of the reasons why I really like using him. He's really bulky. Not a lot of people come across him, so they are not often able to like strategize against it. And we'll see who he goes for. He goes for the U-turn. Oh, so he did go after the Reuniclus, which is fine. We keep him alive, and that means that we can go for a grass attack next turn. But here comes Torkoal. He's going to change the weather. Now, Torkoal is a bit scary. But we're going to try to take down this Inteleon here. And Energy Ball is not going to be enough, so let's go ahead and just hit Psychic on Torkoal. And we'll see who's got their guys slowest. Min speed. Oh, we actually see a switch out on the Inteleon. Okay. That could be a good play. Is he going to then switch back into his Rillaboom? No, he goes into Greedent himself, which is not a bad play because Greedent is really bulky. Normal types always have a lot of HP stats, so it's not too surprising. But that is an interesting play. We were able to have our opponent get out of their Dynamax turn early, which I think is going to be helpful. But we'll see how slow, and we are able to attack before Torkoal, which is also big. So this attack goes into the Greedent, and Greedent goes down. Bulky as he may be, we have belly drummed. And we'll see how hard this Eruption hits. Which I wouldn't be surprised if it hits really hard, though. Here comes Eruption, and we are able to take it. Unfortunately, Reuniclus goes down. But the important thing to note is we are slower than Torkoal, which is actually very big. And we can also bring in Conkeldurr. So he has Rillaboom, he has Inteleon, but Conkeldurr, sorry, does put some pressure on with Mach Punch. Then we're going to go ahead, get rid of Inteleon, Mach Punch the Torkoal. He might protect, but at least this way, if he doesn't, then we can lower his health a little bit so his Eruption doesn't do as much damage. And this will be our best chance of trying to take them both down. So yeah, so Mach Punch does a little chip, not as much as I would have liked. At least Inteleon doesn't get to attack here. And if we take Eruption, it should do a little bit less. So yeah, so here comes Eruption. That did hurt a lot. but we tank it and we get a little bit of heal up. Nice, and we get some nice heal with Conkeldurr there. Now, of course, we do have to be worried of a Protect on Torkoal. But here comes Rillaboom. How much more Trick Room we have? Yeah, this is the last turn of Trick Room. So we are going to be slower than that Rillaboom next turn. Let's just go Max Strike on the Torkoal. Torkoal's putting in way too much pressure here. We can Fire Punch on the Rillaboom. The sun is up, so that might do a lot of damage. And then we'll see if that's enough to put the nail in the coffin here. So no protect, which is what I was a little worried about. So that's good. And Fire Punch might actually do a really good deal of damage. Obviously, Drain Punch is a good way to go, but since the sun is up, feeling that Fire Punch is just going to be able to do a lot more damage. And yeah, there you go. And we get the kill. Nice win, nice win. I wasn't expecting for us to come across Greedent in a mirror match when we first hopped on the game. Let's go ahead and check out the team. Yeah, I want to see how they built it in comparison here. There's the Citrus Berry here. We haven't told. Oh, he has Choice Specs. So it's good to do what we can to try to get him out of there. Do see Snipe Shot, Air Slash, so Dottler, Mimikyu. Okay, Mimikyu with the Mental Herb as well, so that's similar. He has Life Orb Torkoal. Kind of similar to, oh, but he has Rock Slide, Earth Power. So a lot more like aggressive and no Protect, which is interesting. And Rillaboom. Alright. Really cool team. Really cool team. I'm pretty happy that we were able to get that win. We can really chalk that one up to Reuniclus hanging in there and having the Dark Berry protection, I think is what caused us to win the game. I'm sure he thought like Airstream to get up speed control and then Knockoff would just one-shot him, but we were able to withstand it. See, we see a Fake Out potential. Intimidate Fake Out is a problem. We also see Inteleon doing Inteleon things. I think this time we are going to bring Gastrodon in the back. And we're going to bring... The thing is, he can Fake Out Reuniclus. Or he can taunt Mimikyu. But if he taunts Mimikyu, then we have the Mental Herb. So we're good there. And I think we're going to go with Greedent. We're going to have Gastrodon in the back for a switch-in. Does Gastrodon pressure this team? And I think we're going to go with... Conkeldurr, I think, looks pretty strong here. Deals with the ice, but we have fire to deal with the ice. So I think Torkoal... Actually, Torkoal might be better. Yeah, I think Torkoal's better here. Okay. So this is going to be another interesting game. Obviously, our opponent has a few things that can thwart our strategy here. Early Intimidate, Fake Out is going to be pretty annoying. So that could be a thing where we just end up switching out if they do decide to leave with Hitmontop. They also have, let's see, 3 seconds. Hopefully, I was hoping they didn't get to choose their team and they got stuck with just their first 4. Our opponent could do a lot of things. He can run us over really early with the typical fake Tears and Inteleon play. So if we foresee that coming, maybe a Gastrodon switch-in could save us. And we actually see Inteleon Toxtricity here, which is interesting. And that does put quite a lot of pressure on Greedent as well. So we're going to go ahead and click the Trick Room. And I think we're just going to click... I think we're going to click the Belly Drum and force them to stop it. And see what they're able to do. Problem is they have a couple special attackers, which can do a lot of damage to us. And Greedent doesn't really like the special attacks. We do have some special defense bulk. But I'm not sure that's going to be enough to really get things done here. But that's why I decided to at least make sure that we're able to get up Trick Room. If they stop Greedent, then they stop Greedent. Then we can have Torkoal come in and try to sweep up afterwards. Let me see. If we see a Max Darkness come out, that goes on Mimikyu. Okay. Question will be, will Toxtricity be able to one-shot Mimikyu here? Boom Burst doesn't touch ghost types, so if he goes for a Boom Burst, that could be helpful for us. Wouldn't be surprised if we see, or he could do like a Poison Jab or something of that nature as well, though. So we see Overdrive, which is going to do a lot of damage. Wow, that was a crazy amount of damage there. Holy smokes! So we don't get the Trick Room off, unfortunately. But we do have Gastrodon. The only problem is Greedent's never going to get get his attack in unless they'd decide to double up on the Gastrodon, which they aren't likely to do. Now there is one train of thought is that we could Dynamax and Max Guard, which I don't think is doing too much for us, but I don't really think we have much other choice. Now I guess we could just Dynamax Gastrodon. But then Greedent goes down. Now we're just going to Earth Power, Toxtricity. We're going to Dynamax. That doesn't do much for us with the Inteleon though, to be honest. Let's give it a try. I was not expecting that Overdrive to do that much damage, so that could be Choice Specs, Toxtricity. If only Mimikyu was able to live long enough to get the Trick Room off. We are this close. We're this close. But yeah, 96 is not going to be enough health to live from any attack. But hopefully this will just... if we can get a double Max Guard, then that could change the game. And he actually goes into Gastrodon, which is a smart play. He figures the Overdrive is going to hit both people anyways. So special defense drops. Here comes Overdrive again. So we actually might not even get to touch Toxtricity here. Oh, it doesn't affect us. Perfect, because we're ground types. I knew that. Toxtricity goes down because he's 4 times weak. But we were hoping for an attack into the Greedent there. So, very interesting seeing Toxtricity on the ladder. Someone must be watching my videos. Probably not, because if they did, then they would see that Toxtricity doesn't do that well. But he clearly did really well for them. So, I think this is pretty much a moot point, but we're going to go ahead and see what we're able to do here. Vanillix is going to be sashed. Let's just double click, see the calcs, and then we'll get out of here and get on to the next game. Here comes another Max Darkness. And down goes Greedent. So, unfortunately, we weren't able to get this game. So, we're 1-1. You can see what happens when they put quick pressure. So, maybe that would have been a game where Reuniclus had a little bit more bulk to live those attacks. Was just a little worried about the Whimsicott there, because if they have the Whimsicott and it's carrying Taunt, then the Reuniclus is pretty much done. But this is why we play the games and why we get the testing in. So far we've seen one game work with Reuniclus and one game not work with Mimikyu. And let's see how game 3 goes. Okay. I wish there was a way to speed this part up without actually just disconnecting. Hopefully they don't take a long time to pick their move. So go ahead and click attacks. And we'll be out of here. Okay, so thinking about what we could have done there. Yeah, just Inteleon puts on a lot of pressure. So maybe if we see Inteleon, I think Gastrodon might have to be a start. Because he can't use his water attack. I mean, we don't really pressure him too much with grass. I mean, yeah, Reuniclus carries a grass attack. So that's 2 games that we've seen in Inteleon. So I wonder if people are sharing lists. People are sharing lists over here. Okay. And here we are. Let's get into game 3 and let's see. Hopefully no Inteleon. So no Inteleon, but we do see another Hitmontop. This looks like a very standard squad here. Looks like they're going to want to control the weather. Also ones that can hit very hard right off the bat. So we're going to have Mimikyu. I think Mimikyu and Greedent. Mimikyu because there is a Tailwind and Taunt potential. Reuniclus could be good though. I mean, we could force them to have the taunt, right? Ugh. Let's see. This, I mean, he's going to have Tailwind. He's going to have... Yeah, he doesn't really have any way to stop Trick Room except for taunt. So I think we're going to go with Mimikyu here. Greedent. I think Reuniclus is really good as well, and just Torkoal. There. So this time we're gonna go with the best of both worlds and just have both Trick Room setters. And see if we're able to make the right play. If Excadrill comes out, we are going to want to look to see if it's Mold Breaker or not. I don't see a Tyranitar, so it very well likely could be Mold Breaker. And we'll see here. We do see the Whimsicott Togekiss. So this makes me feel like it's going to be a taunt, which will work in our favor. So let's go Trick Room. Probably a taunt and like an Airstream to really control the weather. And we'll go Belly Drum. But it could also have Hitmontop in the back, so we have to be careful for a switch-in. But yeah, here comes the taunt. So we did make that call right with the Whimsicott lead. So that actually worked out very, very good. And then a Dazzling Gleam just to break Mimikyu's disguise there. But that's actually going to be perfect for us. Greedent gets in the Belly Drum, and we're going to go ahead and proc our Berry and our ability with Cheek Pouch, which gives us an extra heal. Like, that's why I like using him as opposed to Snorlax. And up goes Trick Room. Okay, so that worked out for our favor. Now we have to make the best of it. So we're going to go ahead and Shadow Sneak to break Sash. And we're going to Dynamax and Max Steel Spike the Togekiss. Even if it has the Steel Berry here, we should be able to hit through it. I mean, we are plus 6? So there we see the power of... Oh, and battle canceled. But there we see the power of Mental Herb. A lot of people are not expecting Mental Herb to be on Pokemon. You just don't see it much. So just that setup got us the win there. And yeah, let's go ahead and check the team. Anytime you can see their team, it's always good. So you have the Stone Joiner. So what's his attack? Oh wow, he's... Okay. And Scarf. So very much, yeah, Rock Slide. So this is the set that's seeming really popular right now. The Rock Slide on the Dracovic. Expert Belt. Wow. Okay. Oh. Expert Belt, huh? Interesting. Check button. Couple ends and Life Orb. He was Mold Breaker. It was Mold Breaker, so we were able to avoid that. Chalk that win up to Mental Herb. He's absolutely mental. This herb is making him go mental. So that's good for us. Let's try to keep on improving up the ladder here. Around 6,000. Let's try to get into 5,000. Let's try to join the 5,000 squad here. And okay, it looks like we have a Trick Room team of their own. Probably have a G-Max Anaconda, which could be interesting. I'm assuming Lapras is also a G-Max. I wonder if this is like a Parish Song team. A Bronzong could be a problem, but we have Torkoal in the back. I think we're going to bring Gastrodon as well. I don't see them having any taunts. So I think we're going to go with Reuniclus. They don't really have Steel either, so I don't know if they could really deal with the Dark. Actually, we're going to go with the Mimikyu because he could Fake Out. You have the Greedent here. I think Gastrodon is pretty strong. And I mean, Torkoal in the back would be nice. Let's see, Torkoal covers. No, Torkoal doesn't cover too much, to be honest. Do you want Conkeldurr? Then we're going to go with the Reuniclus. I felt very protected when we had both of our Trick Room users in the team at one time. And we'll see what our opponent's able to do here. I am a little worried about them setting up screens and minimizing our damage that way. Dragapult's obviously always a threat. Okay, yeah, we do see Sandaconda. So I would imagine we're going to see a fake out onto the Greedent. Question is, do we care? Or do we want to switch in to Gastrodon or Reuniclus? Okay. Then we're going to set up Trick Room. And I think we're going to go ahead and get the Gastrodon, because I'm anticipating a fake out on our Greedent. And then Gastrodon could put some pressure onto the Sandaconda. So last game we made our read right. We'll see if we make this read right. Here comes, yep, the most likely G-Max Sandaconda, because I don't know why you would run the other one. And we'll see if they go for a fake out onto that Greedent slot there. That make me feel a little good. No, we actually see a taunt. Okay, so that's actually good to know. So it still worked out in our favor. And we see a double up into that slot there. Gastrodon taking a hit. So they were not excited about the possibility. Oh, and here comes Sand Tomb. So we're going to take Sand Tomb damage, unfortunately. Then we're going to go ahead. We got to get rid of the taunt potential there. So let's go ahead, click that, and we're going to Scald the Sandaconda. Try to start chipping away at him. So he gets a Spirit Break in, breaking our Disguise. That's fine. Special attack drop is not relevant, actually, since we are physical attackers. So hopefully we can land our play rough here. Here comes a Scald, which is going to proc his ability, though. With the Sand Spit. It's going to bulk up his special defense. And here comes Max Steel Spike. Oh, okay, so he's going to double up on the Mimikyu. Mimikyu's going to go down. And here comes more residual damage from that ability there, which is going to make things problematic. Question is, will our opponent try to go for a taunt on the Reuniclus? I think we have to click it. We have to try to find a way to get back in this game. So we're going to click Trick Room, and we're going to go for another Scald here onto the Sandaconda, and hope that he doesn't realize Reuniclus runs Trick Room on it itself. If we're able to get this up, then we're going to be good, but oh yeah, here comes Spirit Break. We'll see if you can actually just withstand this attack from the Sandaconda. Sandaconda may want to take out the Gastrodon, though, seeing that he is a water attacker. No, he's going to go after Reuniclus, but Reuniclus tanks it. Tanks it like a boss. And up goes the Trick Room. Oh wow, we have 2 health left. So it said that things return to normal. But we weren't under Trick Room, right? Because we're going slower than everything. Oh, was Trick Room up? Oh, Trick Room was up that whole time, huh? Well, whoops. Huh. Well, that's a mistake. I guess I didn't realize that. Because we seemed slower both times. Alright, I guess we'll click that. I guess I missed that we were under the Trick Room. Oh no, and he's going to protect against our Sludge Wave here. Here comes Rock Slide. Actually, that's just going to knock us out. Okay. Reuniclus lives. Energy Ball goes down. Down goes Sandaconda. And we're going to die from the Sand Tomb. So I guess that's my bad there. I forgot that I guess Trick Room was still up, even though like it seemed like his Grimmsnarl was the slowest on the field, which is throwing me off. I wasn't expecting him to be slower than our Gastrodon, which made me forget there. So I think, yeah, he still has a lot in the back, right? You said the next round? Okay, yep, that's a game there. So we're gonna get out of that one. 2-2. Let's see if we can finish off the day 3-2 with a winning record. That's my booth right there. But that's 2 straight games that we've seen taunt. So taunts are coming out more prevalent. The question is, too bad we can't run multiple mental herbs. We could use something like Psychic Terrain. Psychic Terrain could be helpful there. Maybe Male and Indeedee with the mental herb. Let's get into the last match. Let's try to feature the Greedent, let him do his thing one more time. Here we see another very aggressive team. We see Chandelure to stock Trick. We actually see 2 guys to stop the Trick Room here. And we see... Okay. I think our best bet is just to try to stop their Imprison. Question is, do they want to bring Chandelure or do they want to bring Jellicent? That's the question. We'll go Mimikyu, Gastrodon. Go Greedent. Torkoal. Gotta bring Torkoal with that Durant there. That Durant presence is always gonna be an issue for sure. But yeah, the opponent here has 2 possible Imprison Pokemon. So I guess what our strategy is hopefully it's Chandelure. And no, they go with Jellicent. And we're going to have to expect that Jellicent is clicking at the whole time. So then I think we go ahead and click Protect. We're going to go ahead and Protect. I think Durant's going to attack into Gastrodon, and Jellicent is going to go ahead and click Imprison. I don't think Shadow Sneak is going to be able to 2-shot it, since we aren't heavily like running attack. We don't have a Life Orb on Mimikyu, but maybe if we can get a crit to put it down under half, then there might be a chance here. We'll see what... So protect on the Gastrodon. Here comes the Shadow Sneak for us. So here's a see how much this does. And oof, not quite half, unfortunately. It does a good amount though. And here comes a Max Quake. And yes, so he did go into the Gastrodon. So we did make that read correctly. And it's interesting that he did the Max Quake in case we switched into a Torkoal. There goes Imprison, just as we expected. And Leftovers. That's actually going to make things a bit more problematic as well. I think we have to go for Shadow Sneak. Do we go for Curse? That is our only Trick Room setter. No one else wants to take this hit. So we aren't likely to get Trick Room off. And I think we're going to go ahead and Earth Power the Durant. Comes another Shadow Sneak here. So yeah, so Trick Room, huge target on its head. Everyone's teched out against it, so that is unfortunate. But we do still have our Disguise, so that's kind of a waste of a Dynamax attack, if being honest. He's bulking up his stats, which are really good, so it's not going to be horrible for him, but it does mean that Mimikyu stays out for one more turn, and then we're going to be able to... Oh, Strength Sap here? Okay. Which is fine. And it's actually not fine. He's going to heal up a lot, won't he? But we are going to get Durant off of his Dynamax turn pretty soon here. And nice, we get a special defense drop. So I think we're going to go ahead and switch out Mimikyu. Try to do what we can to hopefully get that attack off. The question is, who do we want more? Do we want Greedent or Torkoal up more? If he goes for a Steel Spike, I think Torkoal has a better chance of living it. So we're going to go ahead and go with that. I think we're going to go ahead and click another Earth Power. We want to be putting it on as much pressure as possible on the Durant, so he never feels too comfortable. And the Earth Power is going to work with our Drought that comes in. Here comes the Max Quake. Let's see if he goes after... Okay, wow. He went in and read the switch. Which is actually a pretty big play. I mean, the chip-off damage wouldn't have mattered that much, if being perfectly honest. We'll see if our opponent goes for the Water Spout here. No, okay, goes for a Strength Sap, which we're totally fine on. And now our opponent's off his Dynamax turn, so if Durant can miss some attacks, we're actually going to be in pretty good position. Then we're going to have to miss a couple attacks here. Problem is, we do need to get this Jellicent off the field. Solar Power is one way that we can put pressure to make that happen. But actually, if we're able to just land an attack with the Eruption here, then that Durant's going to be gone, and that's going to be huge for us. Go ahead and click that. We're going to Belly Drum on the Greedent and see if our opponent can land his Durant. Here's Stomping Tantrum, and he does land it. But we are able to take it, which makes it feel like I probably should have gone for a a Heat Wave, but Heat Wave can miss, so that's always a scary thing. Our attack stat's going to keep going down from the Strength Sap, but we are able to actually get the Belly Drum in. So, I mean, if we end up +4 with the Greedent, I think that's a decent trade-off. Especially if he's healthy. Here comes Eruption. Let's see if it's enough to get the kill on the Durant. It should be, given the fact that we have the Sun up. and he's 4 times weak. So Durant's gone. Now to deal with the Jellicent here. And maybe we can do this all like while being slower. That'd be extremely impressive here. Wow, we see another one. So I would be surprised if he goes for an imprison as well. Question is, does he double up on us? Probably not likely. We're going to go ahead and Dynamax. These don't hit any of these guys, unfortunately. And Steel doesn't really help us out here. So we're going to max Overgrowth to get more healing going. Let's double up. I want this Imprison out of the way. So, like one thing that we know for certain is that the Jellicent has Imprison. Whether Chandelure has it or not, or whether it's going to click it is another thing. So I don't want to target that down just yet. Let's get one Imprison out of the way, and then we'll worry about the second Imprison. It is tough for Greedent to go up against Ghost type, so we are kind of seeing that right now. But here comes a Shadow Ball. So Torkoal's going to go down, which is now good that we targeted Jellicent with both Mons, because if we get the kill here, then we have another attempt to get a Trick Room off. We'll see if we're able to get the kill with, okay, even +4 we're able to get the kill, so that's huge. And we have yet to see Focus Sash, so I'm assuming the Focus Sash is going to be on the Chandelure, so Shadow Sneak is probably going to be our play here, and we're going to have to see if we're going for a Grass attack or a Steel attack. And actually, I mean, I think we have to go for the Steel onto the Togekiss. I think that's going to have to be our play, and did we run Imprison on both Mons? Most likely. So let's Shadow Sneak there, and let's go for Max Steel Spike on Togekiss, and hope that we are bulky enough to live a couple of their hits. But odds are Chandelure has Sash on, so we have to deal with that for sure. See if we can dodge. Mimikyu avoided, which is huge. Greedent didn't, which we need Greedent to be as healthy as possible. Here comes the Air Slash, but we tanked that pretty good. Here comes the Berry. I don't know if we're going to kill only being +4 instead of +6. +6 is a for sure kill. +4 may not be a kill. Ooh, +4 is a kill. Let's go, Greedent. Let's go, greedy Greedent. Let's go. So down goes Togekiss. And it's going to be a 2v1 versus Chandelure. So I think we might have this in the bag because he can't hang even against Mimikyu's Shadow Sneak here. So although we were never able to get Trick Room off, we did enough to live through Durant's Dynamax. And a lot of times, like that's just all you're really trying to do at the end of the day. I guess we'll just go ahead and go Max Steel Spike. Both of them are not very effective. And we'll see, we'll go Shadow Sneak. Our opponent should go after Mimikyu probably, since that's the one doing super effective damage here. He just goes for the Heat Wave. Wow, it does a lot. Okay, so you got critical hits. He's running Scope Lens apparently. And here comes Steel Spike, and Steel Spike gets it out. Okay, so we're getting wins. When I'm not resetting our own Trick Room, then we're able to get wins, but you can't see that. You have to play this deck very, very carefully when you're on the ladder, because Trick Room is just going to have such a high kind of like target on its back, and you have to do what you can to get around it. Let's see. The main thing I want to see is, was he running double Imprison? Because that's a lot of Trick Room hate. He's running double Imprison. And okay, no Imprison actually on the Chandler. So just one. Okay. So this is definitely a more aggressive attacking set. Okay. Kind of surprised that he's only running one in prison. Okay, cool, cool. Well, we were able to get it done in the end. I think we're going to go ahead and end the episode there. We got 3 out of 5. So, finish, I guess, winning more than we lost. Can improve, but running Trick Room is always going to be tough. But let's see where that puts us off. Rank did go down. Are we going to end up around 6,000 again? At least, yeah, if we can kind of stay the same, then that would be good. And yep, down to 6. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I think we're back there. Let's see next time we're able to go ahead and get into the 5,000 and under range and try out some more stuff with the team. So hope you guys like this episode. Feel free to drop some recommendations if there's any Pokemon that you want to see featured on the channel. And make sure to subscribe for more Pokemon Sword and Shield stuff. So until next time, I've been Drake Adams.